Hey everyone and welcome back. Now in today's video we'll look into how we can set up a multi-factor authentication with our AWS account. So in order to do that, we'll quickly log into the AWS console. Now one of the simple way, if you do not have the link, is you can just do a Google on AWS management console, and the first link that generally occurs aws.amazon.com/console, and you can do a sign in to the console here. Now, once you come back to the login page, you will need to feed in your password and you need to click on sign in. Now, if you notice, whenever we click on sign in, it will automatically sign us in. Now, although this might seem simple, but again, this has a security risk, because if someone gets to know your password as well as your username, they will also be able to log into your AWS account. And since your AWS account is connected to your maybe debit card or even credit card, you will lose money if if an attacker launches a lot of instances. And it has happened. I do remember that one of my friend, he used to be my colleague in the organizations that I used to work with, and by mistake he had posted his AWS access secret keys in GitHub, and the next day he saw that he had a bill of more than $2,000. Now that is a risk, because if your credentials gets compromised, then you will face a heavy bill. So this is the reason why it is important to have a multi-factor authentication for your AWS account. So if you go to my security credentials, let's go here. So it is giving you a warning saying that your root account should ideally never be used, primarily because you cannot restrict the permission of root account. Anyone who has logged into the root account will have full access to all the AWS resources that are part, and hence the AWS is saying that you should go with the AWS identity account users. So for the time being, we'll do a continue to the security credentials, and within here there is a tab called as multi-factor authentication. Now if you click on this tab, it is giving you an option for activating the MFA. Let's click here, and there are various options. One is virtual, one is UTF, and second is other hardware MFA device that you might have. Now we'll select virtual MFA because it becomes simpler for our demo purposes. Now if you click on continue, basically it will give a QR code to scan. Now if you click on show QR code, this is the QR code which you will have to scan from the device. Now there are various apps which are available from which you can scan this QR code. One of the famous ones that are used extensively is the Authenticator app within the browser, and you also have the Google Authenticator app which is available in the Android as well as the iOS marketplace. So let's look into some of those. So if you just type Authenticator, and let's say if you are using Chrome, then there'll be a first, if you look within the Chrome store, you will have a Authenticator app here. So this is the Authenticator app. Now I have the similar app installed for my Firefox browser. Now even for Android device, if you just type Google Authenticator Android, you will see that within the Play Store, you will see a Google Authenticator app, and you can go ahead and download this app within your phone, from which you can scan it. So once you have your app installed, what you need to do is you have to click here, you have to click on edit, and there is a plus sign here. Just click on plus sign. Now there are two options. One is scan QR code and second is manual entry. So if you do a scan QR code, you will have to scan it here, and for manual entry, you need to put the secret key that you see over here. Let's try the manual entry for the time being. Or let's do one thing, let's do a scan QR code, because if you're using mobile phone, putting so much long string is something that you might not do. So let's do a scan QR code. I'll click on edit, I'll do a plus, let's do a scan, and now you have to scan the entire QR code which is present over here. So once you have scanned this, you will get an option saying that a new MFA device has been added. And once you have done this, you have to put the two consecutive codes that you see over here. One is the 461304. I'll paste it here. And the second code that generally appears after a few seconds, I'll paste it here, and I'll do a assign MFA. Perfect. Now it says that the virtual MFA has been assigned. You can do a close. So now if you do a sign out and sign in, let's look into how exactly it might work. So now if I do a sign in, this time it will ask for the MFA code. So even though an attacker might already have your username, he might have your password, but MFA code, if he does not have, then he'll not be able to log in. So let's copy this MFA code, we'll paste it here. And once you do a submit, it will verify. And if your code is right, then you will be able to log in. And this is one of the very important steps that you should be taking for your root account, as well as for all the IAM users that you have within your console. So this is it about this video. I hope this has been informative for you, and I'll really encourage every one of you do set your MFA. There are a lot of instances of the root account getting compromised or IAM users getting compromised. So one of the good safety feature is to have a MFA for all the accounts that you have for your AWS. So that's about it. I hope this has been informative for you, and I look forward to see you in the next video.